What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. Today we're going to be addressing a question that I get asked often, man, and that is, can you survive in prison peacefully being a lone wolf? A lone wolf, to anybody that doesn't know out there in YouTube land, is someone that goes into prison and doesn't deal with anybody else but themselves. They don't click up with no gangs, they don't click up with another race, with their race. They literally just stick to themselves, mind their business, and that's that. Okay? Well, in short, yes, you can. There are people that are living peacefully and got respect from different races and different cliques, and they're not even affiliated with anything. There are people doing time in the penitentiary just like that. Okay? The best way to describe what I'm saying, okay, there's two types of lone wolves. There's one that is weak. He doesn't have no kind of credibility in the penitentiary. He hasn't never put in any work. He's not known. He's just a weak dude, and he's scared to talk to anybody. Okay, he's scared to talk to anybody. That's called a scared lone wolf. That's the worst one to be. I'll tell you that right now. You're gonna get ate alive. Now, there's another type of lone wolf. Okay, this lone wolf, he's not scared. He knows what he's capable of. He knows he'll freaking poke you up 30 times if you mess with him. And those people around him know that as well. And those are the lone wolves that survive and have an easygoing time and got respect from other people because, they're either well known or they've done things in the system and everyone's heard of it. And the best way to describe this kind of lone wolf is the movie Felon, okay? There's this movie called The Felon, and Val Kilmer's in it. Val Kilmer, well, let's get it. Look, when they go, it was like in this high-level prison, okay? And they had this like indoor rec yard. It was like a gym with no basketball hoops, just a gym. And the guards used to send rival gangs in there at the same time just to see them fight, and they would gamble on who would win. They would have the Latinos, and then they would have the whites in there. And Val Kilmer, he wasn't affiliated with any of these guys. He was a lone wolf, okay? But he had respect from both of them. He would go dap up the Spanish. He would go dap up the whites, show love to both of them. But for real, he wasn't clicked up with any of them. He was a lone wolf. But people heard of him, okay? That is what I'm talking about when it comes to the respectful lone wolf. Those guys are going to survive peacefully in the penitentiary. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. And believe it or not, some of these lone wolves have more respect from the OGs than their own soldiers. Okay, so first let's go ahead and break down the weak lone wolf. These guys are not going to survive, all right? They're not. They're just not. They're weak, they're scared, they're shy, they don't know what to do, and that's why they're sticking to themselves. They're actually hoping and praying someone would put them under their wing, But these guys are victims all the time. And, gangs and different whatever is going on in the block, they're going to see this guy all by himself, and they're going to attack him, okay? They're going to attack him in, it just depends, different ways. Might try to take his money, sexually assault him, beat him up, all kinds of things, pimp him out. Man, there's all kinds of things that could happen to a weak lone wolf, okay? And that guy typically needs to get up with someone, man, for real. A lot of people go to prison, and even though they're not clicked up with anybody, they have homeboys, okay? They click up in a certain way, shape, or form with their friends, but they're not in no organization, you know what I'm saying? And those guys, I don't really consider a lone wolf because they literally have companions and friends by their side. So yeah, the lone wolves, the weak ones that are scared, they're going to get ate alive, man. That's a fact. I recommend you do something. You might got to click up. You might have to find someone, a friend, to talk to on a regular basis to have your back somewhat, So yeah, don't just sit there all by yourself, man. If you're in fear, you got to get out there, open up, and start talking to people, okay? Or else, some people are gonna start attacking you. Now, like me, I was kind of a form of a lone wolf, but not really. You know what I mean? I chill with a wide variety of people. Blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians, man. I played handball, softball, basketball, soccer. I played sports with multiple races, you know what I mean? And gang members, man. Believe it or not, gang members, they do play sports and they do gamble and they do have fun. You know, it's not always, holding the shank and get ready to kill someone. It's not like that all the time. Maybe in some prisons, you know what I mean? But, even people that are gang banging, they let loose and they like to relax. And I chill with them all, But at the end of the day, after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock or something, if I wasn't gambling, I stuck to myself. You know what I mean? I went to my bed and I mind my own business. So in a certain way, I was a lone wolf, Now the thing that really amazes me about how I used to do time in prison, and it just shocks me just thinking about it, is even though I didn't click up with anybody or get into certain race groups, I still had respect from these people. And the crazy thing is, I didn't put hardly any work in at all to get the respect from them. It's almost as though they could just sense, they should respect me. That's why I say all the time, real recognize real. There's a sense of respect that you get from someone just by hearing them talk. The respect game in prison is strong, man. You know what I mean? And I want to answer another question that someone said the other day, and this is kind of another video topic, and I'll probably touch into it later on down the road. But they said my husband or someone came home from prison and they got to arguing, and they said, he says, I get more respect in the penitentiary than I do at home. And that's absolutely true. Look, that is absolutely true, man. I've said that a couple times myself. When you're in prison, people don't run their mouth. People, very rarely, people do not run their mouth. People are polite, they're respectful. Because if you're not, you get your head cracked open, okay? Out here in the streets, man, people are so disrespectful. And for the most part, it's because they'll just call the cops. They got them police on their side, that 911. So they'll run their mouth, get crazy and talk crazy to you. And a lot of people get tricked up. A lot of ex-cons get tricked up like this because they're still in the mind state where they gotta freaking rock them in the face if they say any kind of disrespectful word. And coming home from prison, that was a huge thing for me to change up, realizing that people are gonna run their mouths and you can't just rock everyone who talks crazy to you. You know what I mean? And also another thing is, my little lone wolf syndrome came home with me as well. A lot of people, when they come home from prison, they seclude themselves. And believe it or not, they try to get out there, but, the life out here is very fast compared to the penitentiary life. It's so much faster. It's almost as though you live in, let's say, a little country town, and then you go to New York City, and you're like, holy crap, this is super fast paced. It's just like that when people come out the penitentiary to the street life, and they're like, man, this is too fast, it's too fast. So they tend to seclude themselves, sit back in the living room, watch TV, and play with their new phones and stuff like that. But especially me, I had a little bit of a lone wolf syndrome coming from the penitentiary. I kind of just wanted to do everything on my own out here, And I didn't really want to include anyone in my activities. I just started getting on the hustle and the grind and not letting anybody know anything, and I just did me, And I had to break that because people, like my wife and my family, they want to know what's going on. They want to know stuff like that, and I had to break that mind state to show them, I don't need to be a lone wolf at home. You know what I mean? I could go out and expand and talk to everybody. And it took a few weeks for me to get that mind state back. But there are other things, I'm going to make a video on that with some crazy things that people have to, mind states that ex-cons have to break when they're coming out to the streets. But yeah, this is not going to be that long of a video. There's two types of lone wolves, okay? Just to recap here. You got the weak, shy, scared lone wolf. He's going to get ate up alive. And there's another lone wolf that, he has confidence, he has respect, he has the eye of the tiger, and people can sense it, There's no way to even create this. There's no way to fake it. There's no way to make yourself this part, okay? It's either you were born with this animal instinct that gives off vibes to other people like, hey, let's just leave him alone, he's cool, he's going to be trouble if we mess with him, He has respect, he has common sense, he's polite, and those are the things that you really can't just create yourself, okay? You can be a poser and fake and an image all you want. But when it comes to the mental mind state, man, it's very hard for you to fake that. Okay, fake that realness. Very hard. And a lot of people, that's why a lot of these guys on that show 60 Days In, man, they're like, people are looking at him like, he might be a plant, you know what I mean? Because you can't fake it. You know, you can't fake it. You can sit there and say what your charges are all day long. But in the long run, you just can't fake that stuff, man. And it's very hard to explain. But I can honestly say this, in the penitentiary, I was more so a lone wolf than anything, you know, for real. But it all comes back down to that eye of the tiger, you know what I mean? That vibe that you give off. And people can sense fear, inmates can sense fear, bull crap, fakeness from a mile away. So if you're going to prison not trying to be yourself and trying to be something that you're not, trying to be hardcore, or just being yourself and just pure scared, they're going to smell it, man. And they're going to attack you. I'm telling you that right now. Anyways, I hope that answers y'all's question about being a lone wolf. And if you haven't seen the movie Felon, go check it out. It's pretty good. Val Kilmer, man. He's a beast. I remember this movie he made. It was crazy, man. I think it was called The Island of Dr. Monroe. That's a crazy movie. If you haven't seen that, jank, go scope it out, man. It's one of his early films. And it was wild. It was wild. But yeah, don't forget to check out all the links in the description of the video. Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. Yesterday I didn't get on Modern Warfare. I got caught up in some things. But today, as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to make me some coffee and I'm going to play me some Modern on Twitch. Come join me. And also, go support the cause and buy yourself a Lockdown 23-in-1 t-shirt. That's right. And I just made this one. I bought it to see how it turned out. And it fits snug. Good t-shirt. Collar. Look at the collar on this jank. It's nice and thick. Good t-shirt, man. Lockdown 23-in-1 gang. This logo right here was actually created. Check it out. Even got a lockdown on his skeleton hat. This logo right here was created by Motorized Misfit. He's on Instagram. Go check his stuff out. And the Decal King, man. He makes all my stickers, man. If y'all need any cheap stickers that are excellent quality for your car, or whatever the case is, or business, banners, anything, the Decal King. He's a beast, man. I follow him on Instagram. And same with Motorized Misfit. He makes awesome t-shirts, man. I'm talking about he's made t-shirts for rock bands and all kinds of stuff. I think it was System of the Down he made some t-shirts for. But dude has some beast t-shirts and designs. Go scope his stuff out on Instagram as well. And also Amnesia Beats, man. He's a guy that makes all the beats for, you see the little cut scenes. I have beats on there now. And for my intro and stuff like that. He's sent me a ton of beats. The dude is really talented. I believe his YouTube name is J Pace. But type in Amnesia Beats, okay, and you'll find it. He has some really good music, man, and he's in Japan. He's really on his grind, you know what I mean? Go support the cause. So until the next time, I hope everybody has a safe and blessed day. And as always, I want to salute to every last one of y'all who have been following me on this amazing journey.